What's up, everyone? Let's talk about oil. I've done this before, but I'm going to focus more generally on it now. Okay? So, the first thing you need to know is that oil is a renewable source. It is the most bountiful, plentiful source outside of water on Earth. Okay? It was only 150 years ago that Rockefeller, who founded Standard Oil with the Rothschilds' money, what he did was he paid scientists to claim that oil was a finite source. They did this. I did a video with it's the same campaign as the De Beers with the diamonds. But what I wanted to talk to you about is how this whole thing evolved. So basically what happened was, in the 1800s, we had the Chinese building the railroads. We had people building the railroads, okay? You had the trolley cars in the early 1900s, okay? The way that United States was supposed to be set up, was that it was supposed to be like a trolley car system. It was supposed to be like a train system. They had electric cars in the early 1900s. Okay? So they had all this set up. Now what happened? Rockefeller with the oil happened. A company called GM bought up all these cable cars that were supposed to be networked, okay, in all the major cities. Everything was supposed to run off of that, okay, in the major cities. The same way that in like Boston, they still have them. San Francisco, they still have them. That was supposed to be everywhere. But GM bought them all up and junked them. There are still junkyards with these cable cars in them. What that did was suddenly you had the rise of oil-based vehicles. Now, every time someone has come out with something, the electric vehicle, again, is 140 years old. They used to have electric charging stations. They used to have electric vehicles. They used to do this. The other thing that they used to do is... they had, at one point, someone named Stanley Meyer, invented something called the water car, okay? It ran on seawater, it ran on regular water, okay? They had offered to buy this from him for $1 billion. This was in the 80s or 90s, I believe. And he met one day with two investors, okay? And these two investors that he met with slipped something in his drink when he said that he wasn't going to sell. And he died of poisoning later. And his plans went away. Okay? In my first book, which if you guys like my stuff, and you guys listen to the short videos that I make, all these are in my books. There's so much more in the books. You have to get the books. But in my first book, okay, I talk about an article that came out, okay, where they were able to take water, and with sunlight, they were able to split the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules apart, okay? Then use the two hydrogen molecules as fuel, as energy, okay? That's the future. That's been suppressed, okay? So, basically, we were supposed to be cable car, we were supposed to be trolley car, we were supposed to be railroads, okay? Rockefeller came in, GM bought all the cable cars, which put pressure on people to buy vehicles. They got rid of the electric vehicles around the turn of the century, and then oil suddenly became this hot commodity because suddenly it was depleting. Suddenly there wasn't a lot of it. Okay? So then what happened is Rockefeller sent this to the newspapers, of course, and people like Henry Ford came up with the Ford vehicle. And you could thank Ford, okay, for the 8-hour, 40-hour a week work week. He invented that. He also had the eagle presented to him from the Nazis, okay, which was the highest civilian honor. Okay, he was a blatant anti-Semite. So he started pushing the cars and the vehicles, okay, with the oil, okay. We were supposed to be set up like Boston and San Francisco. Okay, now everyone's relying on cars. And on the Rockefeller oil, oil is plentiful. Oil doesn't run out. It's a renewable source. And what happens? This is just the way the world works. This is what happens. Okay, something good is figured out, and then someone perverts it. That's just it. We have to take it back. Okay? So, now this whole talk about getting electric vehicles. Okay? So everything just comes full circle. Okay? There's so much more to this, but to be perfectly honest, you guys can do your research into it. I just wanted to provide a little overhead.